Mariners win 11-7 in 10 innings. They improve to 10-9 on the season, and they take 2 of 3 from the Cincinnati Reds. So, goodness gracious, a lot of scoring plays. First inning, Austin Hayes homers to right center to score Ellie De La Cruz, 2-0 at the end of 1. Nothing really happens again until the 4th, and boy, after the 4th, a lot of things happen. Luke Raleigh ties the game at 2-2 with a 2-run homer to score Randy Arozarena. 5th inning, Julio Rodriguez is safe on an error by Ellie De La Cruz. Boy, a tough defensive series for De La Cruz. That makes it 3-2, and then Donovan Solano hits a sacrifice fly to score Jorge Polanco 4-2. 7th inning, TJ Friedel hits a sacrifice fly to score Blake Dunn. It's 4-3. Mariners get some insurance. J.P. Crawford doubles to right to score Ben Williamson, 5-3. But in the bottom of the 8th, former Mariner legend Jake Fraley hits a grand salami to score Lux, Candelario, and Blake Dunn. It's 7-5. But it ain't over, because in the 9th inning, Big Dumper and Randy Arozarena go back-to-back jacks, 7-7. 10th inning, J.P. Crawford reaches on an infield single on a play that really probably should have been an error, 8-7. Randy Arozarena doubles to left to score 2, 10-7, and then Mitch Garver scores on an error by Ellie De La Cruz. 11-7. Mariners win. Holy crap. They're not all equal. They are not all equal. You can tell me all you want about how a win in April and a win in September, blah, 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 blah. There are some wins that are bigger than others. Today feels like one of those days. It just feels like one I'm going to, and I'm going to remember it anyway, because it was a lot of fun. And I choose to remember the fun stuff. Now, unfortunately, the way my brain works is I remember those disasters like the loss to Kansas City last year. They're not all equal. Or I'll remember that loss to the Giants in the earlier portion of the year where they sacrificed a win. I will remember those games. But boy, oh boy, this one was fun. Mostly. Again, as I said at the very beginning of the video, mostly. So for those of you new to the channel, and there's not very many of you, but hey, welcome. We always start with the negatives in a win, and then we build into the positives. The negative is so obvious. This team needs to go get a reliever right now. It doesn't matter if Matt Brash is seconds away from joining this team. It doesn't matter how much confidence you have in Troy Taylor. It doesn't matter how much confidence you have in Gregory Santos going to figure some stuff out in AAA. You got to go get a reliever. Because relying on Bizardo and Vargas in high leverage situations, as well as Trent Thornton, is nuts. It's absolutely bonkers. They have a great closer. They have talented relievers. In fact, I think Colin Snyder should be the guy who's working in high leverage, despite some scuffles to start the year. I blame those scuffles on how they were using him. I don't think he's comfortable pitching in that situation. Some guys are better at pitching in those situations than others. And I saw Colin Snyder excellent as a high leverage arm last year. Excellent. It was just a matter of time before Carlos Vargas showed that icky control. And sure, the umpiring wasn't great today. Not great is an understatement. But he missed quite a bit. And Eduardo Bizardo in the 8th inning. And I think my biggest negative of this big negative, look, I've talked a lot about how I don't trust Trent Thornton in high leverage situations. I trust him more than Eduardo Bizardo. Having him only throw 4 pitches is malpractice. That just can't happen. That just cannot happen. And this bullpen almost blew such a golden chance for a win that didn't look like a great chance for a win to begin the game. That's an understatement too. I just think honestly, as much as this team needs another outfielder and it needs another infielder, I might put getting a high leverage reliever at the highest priority for this team. even with Brash coming back, even with my belief that Troy Taylor could be a really good reliever, even with my confidence in Colin Snyder, even with Gabe Spire looking pretty darn good too, you got to go get another reliever. Have to. It is a very bad idea not to. I wanted to say malpractice again, then I racked my head for a word that's similar to malpractice, so didn't work out. But you've got to go get another bullpen arm. Got to. Have to. Negatives offensively. No, I'm not going to talk about negatives offensively in a game they score 11 runs, even with some help from the Cincinnati bullpen and the defense behind that bullpen as well. So I'll talk to you about Simply Seattle, the very best in Seattle sports gear. Great stuff for the Mariners, of course. But you know what? You're probably a Seahawk fan too, or you should be. You're probably a Kraken fan or two. They've got a few of them. Kraken fan too. You're probably a fan of the Huskies. You better be. I'm just kidding. If you're a Cougar fan, that's fine. They've got Cougar stuff too. You can, really long story short, you can find it all at Simply Seattle and use code MOLLYWOP15 to save 15% off your order. MOLLYWHOP15. Please check them out. Go nuts. There's so much good stuff. The weather's changing now. You got to get some short sleeve shirts, but also this is perfect hoodie weather. I'm wearing the same hoodie as yesterday because it's that comfortable. I do wear a shirt on underneath it. How dare you suggest I'm not a clean guy? SimplySeattle.com, MollyWalk15, link in the description. So many positives from this game. Oh, so many. What a bonkers game. Emerson Hancock was excellent, and it didn't start out very good. Like the first 2 outs were hit hard, very hard, and then LA De La Cruz hits I think it was 110 mile per hour single up the middle, and then Austin Hayes hits the homer. And if you weren't thinking, good for you, because I sure was. And he gets the next out, and it's like, all right, if you can get 3 or 4 innings and limit the damage. No, it was awesome after that. 5 innings, 4 strikeouts, just those 2 runs. And it does bring me back to how, look, I know the metrics hate Emerson Hancock, hate him. And I get it. He's not a great pitcher. He's not even close to a great pitcher. But he's a fine 5th starter, and I think they overreacted to that one outing. Yeah. Yeah, I think they really overreacted. But he was very solid today against a lineup that's going through it a little bit, but in also one of the very toughest parks to pitch in right now. So I was impressed with what I saw from Emerson Hancock. Can't guarantee you're going to get those type of results every game, but I do believe in his stuff enough that you're going to get a lot of 5 innings to 2 to 3 run baseball. And that's fine. That's fine from your 5th starter. It's less fine because, you have an offense that can really scuffle at times. But I think that Emerson Hancock deserves this 5th spot. George Kirby, I hope, is back in the middle of May or whatever the heck they're saying now. I never believe anything any MLB team tells me about injuries until I literally see the guy on the field. But here's hoping. Behind him, Spire did struggle, but Colin Snyder did an awesome job. Again, I want to see Colin Snyder pitching in more high leverage situations. I just believe in his stuff, and I believe in the results he had last year. His ERA is misleading. He gave up 3 runs in a final game, a meaningless final game. Outside of that, Colin Snyder was awesome. Trent Thornton did a nice job, but didn't pitch enough. I never thought I'd be saying that. And then at the end, in a tie game, Casey Legumina coming in and throwing a very solid inning. Great. Legumina was a guy that a lot of people liked coming up. Hasn't always worked out. But I do think that Legumina has a chance to be a decent up and down guy. I'm not trusting him in high leverage. They were basically forced to use him in high leverage. You could have used Munoz in the 9th, but then you have Legumina pitch in the 10th, and Either way, but a very nice job by him and a very solid outing from Andres Munoz. Very solid. Awesome. And then the offense. Okay. Where do you start? Another solid game from Dylan Moore. He is on one right now. It's great to see. JP Crawford, 2 for 5 with the 2 RBI. That RBI double ended up being massive. You don't win this game without it. Massive, massive, massive hit from Crawford. He is clearly swinging the bat well and starting to make a little bit more hard contact. Not a lot, but starting to make more. Who else can we talk about before we get to the big guys? Luke Raleigh leaves the game early, but hits the big 2-run homer to tie this game, and that ball was clobbered off of Brady Singer. By the way, really liked how Dan Wilson managed the middle innings of this game and went to his bench early in this one. Pinch hitting Solano for Raleigh. Raleigh has no chance against the lefty. Solano, even though he struggles, does get the RBI there. Go into Ben Williamson there, which not only improves your chance of getting a hit with righty on lefty, but also improves your defense substantially. I like how Dan Wilson managed those middle innings. Probably my favorite offensively managed game, not my favorite bullpen managed game from him. The decision to have Thornton only throw 4 pitches. And here's what I'll say going back to that. I kind of wonder if he's been given a talking to, not like a punishment, but like I think the front office has made it clear that they want as few multiple inning options from the high leverage guys, and they consider Thornton a high leverage guy as possible because that bullpen wore down at the end of the year. So taking a step back to take steps forward is the hope. Just hope it doesn't result in too many L's until they get the bullpen help they need. Julio only goes 1 for 6, but does score a couple of runs, does steal the base. And in the 10th inning, a lot of people, that's a 6-4-3 double play or whatever it would have been. Nope, not with Julio's speed. And it was huge that he beat that ball out. Huge, because you end up scoring 3 more runs. And look, if they only end up, Andres Munoz doesn't give up any runs is what I was trying to say there. But you feel a lot more confident in 11-7 than 8-7, especially with a ghost runner on second base. Oh, you bet your sweet Bippy. You bet your sweet Bippy. Big Dumper was having an atrocious baseball game, and he was due for one with how hot he's been. But nope. 9th inning, he just shellacks that homer. Shellacks it. He is on one right now, just like Dylan Moore. I don't even think kids say on one anymore. But anyway. Oh, he's seeing the baseball so well and just driving the you-know-what out of it. Huge. And then Randy Arozarena, man. I love Randy Arozarena. I get frustrated with some of the defensive gaffes. I'll get frustrated that at times, like Julio and like so many other hitters in baseball, this is not unique to Seattle Mariner baseball, folks. They swing at pitches that are well outside of the strike zone because they're trying to cheat and sliders just get them, right? That happens. But man, if there's ever been a case, and there's lots of them, where you don't look at a batting average of a player, it's Randy Arozarena right now. Because 212, not very good. Not very good. But I believe a 380 on base percentage and like a 485 slugging percentage. And those numbers matter so much more than batting average. So much more. Same for Big Dumper at 216. So much more. Randy Arozarena is one of the most clutch players of this century and a lot of centuries. And he saved the Mariners' bacon because this would have been a bad loss. This would have been a bad loss where I would have been screaming about needing a bullpen arm instead of me just talking relatively loudly and probably too fast about how bad this team needs a relief option, another relief option. But nope, Big Dumper and Randy would not go gently into that good night. Huge. Oh, by the way, Jorge Polanco, another couple of hits as well. He's obviously played outstanding. There's not a lot to complain about with this one, but we could have. Because boy, getting 5 strong innings from Emerson Hancock in this ballpark and scoring 5 runs, oh, sign me up. And it almost wasn't enough, but it was, and then some. And I'm extremely happy about it. It's so great to get that first road series win, to get above 500, to basically guarantee that you've avoided a disaster. Now I'm knocking on that wood, but as long as you don't lose the next 6, 3-6 wouldn't be ideal, but you've got a great chance for a 4-5 or 5-4 road trip, and sign me up for those. Because if you play like you should at home and you have a good enough road record, you got a chance at the playoffs. And with this starting rotation, you got a chance to do some really good things. Man, that was so fun. The last 2 innings were as much fun as I've had watching the Seattle Mariners this year. Starting with faint praise, maybe a little, but that would have been fun in any year. And then Arozarena too, the 2-run double. It matters to extend those leads. Obvious point is obvious. You can point to, well, Munoz only didn't give up any runs. How much easier is it to pitch when you have a 4-run lead in that situation than coming in a 1-run game or even a 2-run game, and there's already a runner at second base in this ballpark? It's different. It's different. Man, what a win. What a win. Really good series. Even with Castillo not even coming close to executing in his start. This was a really, really good win. Really good series win. And I love the word really. I really do. Please hit like. Please hit subscribe. Back tomorrow. This was fun. Thank you, Dumper. And thank you, Randy Arozarena. You're pretty neat.